Actor Max Stewart is making his Steppenwolf debut with the hilarious farce Noises Off beginning in September. Max, it's so great to see you, and thank you so much for your time today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
I mean, congratulations on this Steppenwolf debut. Tell me a little bit about the audition, getting that call for this part.
Yeah. It was just kind of one of those things, submitted a tape. I live in LA now, and they were looking for some LA actors to be local Chicago hires, which was kind of crazy because I just moved to LA in January, so I'm a LA based actor out in Chicago now. But yeah, just submitted the tape. Thought I did a good job, wasn't really sure. My friend that I taped with was like, I think you're gonna book this. And I'm like, yeah, I've thought that before, but I'm wrong pretty much 99% of the time. And then got the call back. Just got an email that said Anna wants to meet you at Geffen. Obsessed over the callback sides for like a week straight, just worked on it nonstop, and then did the audition, felt good about it, wasn't really sure, but felt like it was a win just to kind of be in the room and meet Anna. She was super nice and really cool. And then yeah, a couple days later, I booked it. I just got an email that just said, "Here's an offer from Steppenwolf," and I was like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." So yeah, it was all very, it's still very surreal, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
also love that moment that that you're out in LA, but then Chicago called you back. Like we needed you back here to perform in our city.
I guess so. I guess so, but I'm happy to be back for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about the show. It's an iconic farce. There's very
Mhm.
few shows that are as funny as this show.
Yeah.
Um, Describe it, for someone who's maybe never seen it before.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a peek behind the curtain, I think, of what it feels like to make a piece of theater. It's a farce on two levels. It's a play within a play. So yeah, I think it sort of shows like the leap of faith that theater artists have to make in order to create a play. I think often it feels like you don't have enough time or the opening night's coming and it's too quick and you need 2 more weeks of rehearsal. And sometimes you're in your head and you're actually ready, but sometimes you genuinely do need 2 more weeks of rehearsal. Like, I mean, I've been in plays where the first time we've done the show in the actual space with the actual set is with a live audience. So in that case, we probably need another week of rehearsal, and then certainly within the play of Noises Off, Nothing On, they probably need another week or two of rehearsal. But it's the kind of the act of leap of faith of theater, which is sort of the unifying, beautiful piece, which I think is what the show is about.
In your rehearsals right now, give us a little bit of insight of as the process and what's going on. And also too, another piece of it is almost another character is the set. And so not just, your parts, but also having to work with all the different moving parts of that set.
Right, right. Yeah, and yeah, rehearsals have been going great. Everyone's amazing. I can't believe that I'm even allowed in the rehearsal room, so that's just kind of a crazy thing. But the set is a huge, piece of the show. It's sort of like the structure of the comedy in a way, because like the obstacle of the set or like the obstacle course of the set is where like 90% of the laughs come from. The distance it takes from someone to make an entrance and run across the stage to give someone their prop or whatever. And then also the musicality of the set, with the slamming of doors and the glass shattering and someone tumbling down the stairs. That's sort of the drum beat of the whole show. And yeah, so it's more than just like a character. It's kind of like the whole structure of the show is this set. I guess it's what a farce is, but yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Tim Allgood, that you play the stage manager. Tell us a little bit about the character.
Yeah, Tim is like a underpaid, overworked stage manager who what he lacks in ability and experience, he makes up for in Herculean effort. So yeah, sort of I think in my opinion, I think this is Tim's first time ever stage managing. He was probably like the lighting guy who got stage management duty. So yeah, it's a really fun role.
Is there any previous stage manager or any kind of experience that you've seen? I don't want any names. We don't want to call
Oh,
anybody out, but just experiences of like, oh yeah, I get it now. Getting to see it from their perspective or anything you're bringing into this character.
I mean, I have to say, like in my professional experience, I've only worked with great stage managers, so that's not as helpful for this role. But definitely like thinking about in high school when you have, a 14-year-old who's in charge of running a 90-person production of Bye Bye Birdie, and it's all on that 14-year-old's shoulders. It's like that's kind of how I think Tim feels, but yet they have to do it anyway, and the show has to go on. So I've kind of thought about that experience in my professional life. I feel lucky that I've only had great stage managers, and I can't really single anyone out.
That is the best answer. That is the best answer right there.
Yeah.
Let's talk, because you have to be, this isn't, you're not doing stand-up comedy. I mean, you're trying to be serious while all these, funny things are
Mm.
happening around you.
Yeah.
Any actors or any, films or plays or anything that you've
Mm.
kind of drawn your comedy from, that, not just for this role, but like your sense of humor, like what has kind of inspired you, throughout the years?
Well, my dad's from New Zealand, and he was kind of brought up on like British television. So I think he showed me like Faulty Towers and Blackadder and Monty Python at a pretty early age. So I went back to rewatch all of Faulty Towers and Blackadder. So I'm definitely trying to take as much as I can from John Cleese and Rowan Atkinson, all the Monty Python guys, just with the way they use language and also the physical humor. Um, is definitely in the same sort of style as Noises Off, I would say.
And Noises Off was inspired by Faulty Towers, which is a nice full circle moment that you're
Yeah,
having.
and you can feel it. You can feel it the way that Lloyd is written is very Basil Fawlty. Yeah.
That's Anna Shapiro has talked about wanting to do this show at Steppenwolf for over 20 years. So this is
Mhm.
kind of a full circle moment, for her as well too. She's also back at Steppenwolf. Talk a little bit about working with her, and especially within the capacity of this show that she's wanted to do for such a long time.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, I've never worked with someone as like brilliant as Anna. I mean, she's who she is for a reason. I think she just kind of sees theater at a different level than everybody. I think there's a clarity, like an X-ray vision with the play, that comes down to the writing and the design. And working with actors, I feel like she knows the type of actor you are within 2 seconds of seeing your work. She knows what your strengths and what your weaknesses are, and she knows how to work with that. So she's just doing what I think she's meant to be doing, and probably is capable of doing a lot of other things. But we're lucky enough to have her in theater, and she's described this as like a love letter to theater, and to me that feels really right. Um, and yeah, just want to do the best job I can in facilitating that love letter, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's super funny, and I love it's one of my all time favorite shows. But I think
Mm,
anybody in any industry can relate to what you see on the final product, and also what kind of goes on behind the scenes when something doesn't go 100% right. So I feel like no matter where you're
totally.
at, you can draw some type of experience to a show like this.
Totally. And it's interesting because it's like no matter what show you've seen, like good, bad, mediocre, there is like a Tennessee Williams level drama happening behind the curtain that you have no idea, who's hooking up with who and who hates somebody and loves somebody. Like there's all this stuff going on behind some children's theater show that you've seen, at a matinee of. Like you have no idea what's going on. So this play's definitely about that too.
Let's talk. Your there's Steppenwolf ensemble members as well as some new cast members as well too. Talk a little bit about the dynamic and what you're learning from everybody else and kind of being in this space.
Man, it's just everyone's so good. Just trying to kind of keep up. I think I've never been in a room where everybody is just operating at a really, really high level. I think that's what you'll see with the show. And that's what Anna talked about, that this is a show about mastery of theater. And I think she's really got some people on the show that are absolutely masters at what they do, ensemble members and people that they brought in.
That
It's
is awesome.
I have to really be on my toes, in rehearsal, that's for sure.
All right, so this is a co-production with Geffen Theater out in LA. Is there a chance that the show's going to be moving out to LA once it's done in Chicago?
Yes, the show is moving to LA, and I'm not sure on the exact dates, but I think January, February, March, somewhere around there. I know that it'll be going to LA for sure.
That is awesome. We'll definitely go check out the show. It's starting September 12th, running through October 27th at Steppenwolf, 1650 North Halstead, steppenwolf.org for tickets. Max, it's so great to have you back in Chicago. We're so glad you got the call, and we cannot wait to see you in the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good to be back.
Thank you.